All right. First, thank you all for coming. This is a Skid Row, a celebration and acknowledgement of Skid Row's positive movement. Because in the past, we've had a hard time with people even acknowledging that there is any kind of positive energy in Skid Row. That it doesn't exist or not. So that's what this is about today, and that's why we appreciate each and every one of you for believing in us and making this happen. And so we just heard from the Skid Row Unit College Division out of USC. We've also got another component, a group from USC that's doing a social media video blogging class, and part of their presentation tonight is to do a DVD, and they have a series of videos on social media through Facebook, Twitter, and stuff I don't even know about. But they also have a live Twitter feed on that TV that's showing outside. So anybody that's got Twitter, you go #ProSkidRow and tweet something positive about Skid Row, and it'll show right here, right now, tonight. And so to give a few words, I've got the professor of the class, Kent Nichols, want to come up and say something positive about Skid Row.
Hello. This has been a great experience. I've got a small class of upperclassmen and graduate students, so we've been working on getting video out there. I met General Jeff when he stopped by, and he's got a lot of great ideas. He's doing the Lord's work and literally trying to do so many things. It's quite amazing.
Thank you.
But sometimes he gets a little spread out, a little scatterbrained. No, he's an amazing person. And so we had him come in to talk for a class, and we said, Jeff, what can we do with you that in 6 weeks to help your cause and what's going on, the positivity down at Skid Row. And he's like, I just want people to think positive about Skid Row. I want to think about pro Skid Row. And it's like, okay, we can maybe do that. So we produced 6 videos on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ProSkidRow, and then we've got a Facebook page and the Twitter feed. So if you go and tweet right now, Pro Skid Row, hopefully we'll be able to get some passers-by. Hopefully you will be able to influence some of your friends and social media friends. So I think that's what we need to continue to focus on: the positivity, the people, the families, and just trying to extend a hand and extend a positive message and vibe back to them. So thanks so much, and #ProSkidRow. Thanks so much.
I worked for a few years. I'm hoping to turn my dissertation, which is about yay thick, into a book that's about yay thick, and continue to push the positive message. And pleasure to meet all of you. Nice to be here.
The new executive director of the Historic Corps is Blair Best, a good friend of mine. Blair, come up and say a couple of words, something positive about Skid Row.
Well, I'm excited about supporting General Jeff and all that he does, because I know that he's a very positive influence in the community, and we have a partnership here. We're a neighbor, and it's something that we've tried to integrate over the years. I've gone on the Skid Row walk many times to be a part of it, and instead of turning a blind eye, which I think a lot of people did for many years. positive that started many years ago with what you've been doing continues. So that's the best I got impromptu. I'll get better at this stuff.
I just wanted to say, not only do we have, professionals, we've got students, we've got residents. We talk about the blend, the weave, the blend, and Skid Row. And I'm going to ask Professor Laura, is anybody ready to go right now to present? Who's ready? Woodbury University, who's ready? You ready to step up and let's talk about these wonderful exhibits, these wonderful designs. Who's ready to set the tone early? Because I really want to hear the details about this blend, this weave project called Skid Millionaire Row, about the blend between Skid Row and the historic core. Who's ready?
Well, actually, it's interesting because OG Man is right here as one of my influential artists from HumbleBeauty.com. And I did a lot of research about the kind of population that's around here as it is. And I figured that there's a lot of artists that are living in the lofts already. And also the artists that are homeless, they have this common denominator, and this is what the blending is about. So I really use this idea of art to influence all throughout the space of the Cecile Hotel and around it, and to bring these two types of communities, because art is kind of it has no boundaries, and it's something that everybody shares together, and you can create in any ways, whether it's a crayon or it's a canvas or whatever you could afford. You're always in this idea of creating. It happens everywhere, no matter what. So that's just my project.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Anybody else? Who's next?
Hi, my name is Tina Miriam. So the idea was coming from after all the research that we did. So I found out that it's not about food, it's not about roof on their tops. What they need is hope. So if a person has hope, if a person is happy, if he has a goal, so he will reach everything he wants. I created this fancy hope garden to weave loft dwellers and also homeless people and SRO dwellers in the same building. So the community garden here is actually one of the main parts of the building, which whoever enters the garden, he has to plant a tree. So I have this living unit for mentorship and help each other to grow and have a big hope and a brighter future for for both homeless dwellers and SR dwellers.
Tremendous job, another hand. Who's next?
Hi, my name is Deborah Heller, and my project is over here. We have two sections, they're on each floor, 2 suites on each floor. So it's open with a large patio, so that you are moving in and out of the space, and there's a lot of connection to the community around it. Over here is an entertainment center, and a community center, and all the services, social security, anything that we might need, the post office, that everyone uses. Whether it's loft dwellers, whether it's the public, whatever. It allows people to mingle and cross and be together as equals. Everybody's the same. We all feel the same way. Everything's workable together. And it's meant to really draw both sides of Los Angeles and Main Street together in one big community center. It's a really the whole idea of bringing communities together is really pretty fun for me. So hope you like it. And I kind of try to weave in sustainability, environmentalism, and all the things that we connect with, because we are kind of on the same page that way with art and growing things and feeding everyone. And so you'll see a lot of the sustainable information in my board as well.
All right.
Building at the very top of it, there will be production of people growing their own crops. There will also be a commercial space called the Urban Skate Cafe, and that's where the production of the food will come in to the commercial, and while also producing employment for people dwellers at the same time. I guess that's it.
Nice. One.
I wanted to say, first of all, what really grabbed my attention was this idea of a tent. A lot of people have this misconception of what a tent is. A lot of people just feel like when they look at a tent, they believe that only a homeless person lives there, but I want to break that boundary and say that a tent could be more than that. It could also be a campground. A lot of us I know have gone camping, and the experience of the tent is pretty similar. You use the tent simply to sleep in. So my project focuses on that. From Los Angeles Street to Main Street, Los Angeles Street is basically a local shopper street, and it's basically the boundary between Skid Row and what is considered LA. So to break this boundary, I consider creating this bridge-like pathway that merges these two communities together. Within this pathway is this idea of a tent. You're walking through a tent, and you begin up here, and you can see in the model, you start off on this side, and it becomes farmer's market up here, and as it's weaving its way into the Cecile Hotel inside, it becomes actual camp areas where it would be temporary housing for people that don't have a home. And outdoors is actually outdoor camping. And then the bridge continues on until across Main Street. And then on Main Street, it actually becomes an outdoor performance area for people that want to display their art, people who want to sing, play their instruments. And that's my project.
Okay, we're going to get back to some music. And feel free to talk to any of the artists. Really come look at the project with Skid Row.